In the country, not in a town, not in a town, not in a city, not in a city, in the country where there are trees, mountains, hills, and grass. In the country, there was an orphanage. An orphanage is like a house. It's like a house, a big house. Orphans live in an orphanage. Who are orphans? Orphans are kids, boys and girls, not adults, men and women, a woman, a man, these are adults, a boy, a girl, these are kids. Orphans are not adults, they're kids whose parents, their dad and their mum, kids whose parents are dead. Orphans are kids whose parents, whose dad and mum are dead. And in an orphanage live orphans. And this orphanage in the country was big. It was big. It had 3 levels. The first level, the second level, and the third level. And lots of orphans lived in this orphanage in the country. And the orphans had to work. They had to work. Different orphans, different kids who lived in the orphanage had to do different things for work. Some of the orphans collected water. Close to the orphanage, there was a well. A well is a place where you can get water. The well goes deep into the ground. The well goes deep into the ground where there's water, and with a bucket you can lower the bucket down into the water and then pull the bucket back up to get water. Here's the bucket, the bucket hanging on a rope. The rope and the bucket hanging on the rope. And some of the orphans collected water with a bucket at the well. Also close close, not far, close to the orphanage, there was an apple orchard. An orchard where there were apple trees. Trees, tree, on which apples grew. An apple, and these are apples growing on these trees. And some of the orphans would pick apples from the trees and bring the apples back to the orphanage so that everybody, all the orphans could eat the apples. Other orphans milked the cows. The orphanage also had cows. Here are two cows which ate the grass. And some of the orphans, using a bucket, like for the water in the well, they used a bucket to milk the cows. A bucket, and they would milk the cows. And so they'd have a bucket full with milk from cows. And at the well, they'd get a bucket full with water. That was part one. This video was part one. And in the next video, part two, I will be talking more about the orphanage.